Or page 1, I think. Yeah, 154. 154. Really in the middle of the second paragraph on 154. We'll just start at the beginning. What undermines, and what he says, what precludes yichud b'leiv shalom, wholehearted accepting the unity of Hashem, mem l'shati faboreg, is to associate God with other things. V'hu al koponim mehem emunas bali shnios, those who believe in duality, bali hashibush, those who believe in Trinity, umehem avodas hatzuros v'hashemish v'yareach v'abazolos, people believe that they worship forms, the sun, the moon, the zodiac, ha'esh hatzmoch v'achayus, nature, mem hagshomas habori midias hakavono shekivim ba'asefer, and they give physical attributes to Hashem. Umehem hashituv hanelam v'achonef binyoni hadas levnei odom. V'alkom binyonim anios levar osam shar chamishim sefer ezer keshem ke. Memaneti al taibes haguf hamagunos. Kushituf nelam. Okay. He says a person who's really fully committed and believes in unity of Hashem, but yet he feels it's the right thing to succumb and to attend and be inclined to satisfy the desires, the physical desires, the detestable physical desires. Kushituf nelam. He says it's considered concealed polytheism. Shemashati v'odim avodas alakov avodas taivoso. V'akosav omer lo yev cho'el zor. I mean, this is on a very subtle level. A person believes in God, but yet it's time out. It's time out. You have a right, and God is okay with it. You address yourself. What is the alien God that we have within us? It's the Yetzer Hara. You know, it's interesting. You speak to people who know better, right? All of us know better, and yet we do many things that we shouldn't do. And you say to the person, but you realize, what is the person's response? It's okay. What do you mean it's okay? But if you know it's not okay, how can you say, but it's okay? Right? But at a certain level, people say it is okay. But it's not okay. A person was not saying, it's wrong, but I'll do it in either case. People say it is okay. So how could it be okay? That's a polytheism. I mean, there's not. You believe that you have a right to what? To serve and to address your own needs. That's what you believe. He says that's called subtle polytheism. So of course, in the truth, you really believe ultimately, at a certain level, there's going to be a reckoning. Ultimately, you have to do tshuva for it. Ultimately. Whatever you want to call it, but it's worshiping something other. Okay? But he says that's what's called subtle polytheism. Subtle. Of course, the person believes in Yichud Hashem, but it's not true Yichud Hashem. We say in Avarab of Yachid Loed L'Ovtcha Bemes, right? We ask Hashem to designate our hearts to serve Him, only Him, nobody else. I always give over the moshel, the Chofetz Chaim. Right, this person had only sold very exclusive diamonds, very large diamonds, and he was traveling. So he asked his neighbor if he could actually be the custodian to watch his diamonds. And so he asked him. He knew he had these special diamonds. He kept them in a certain type of chest. So he asked him when he's away, could he look at the gaze at the diamonds, because he would like to see what they look like, these whatever very large diamonds, very expensive, precious diamonds. He says, definitely, you could look. So he hesitantly opens the box, unwraps the silk, looks at the diamonds, and he notices, together with the diamonds, they're decayed, decomposed apple cores. And so it doesn't make any sense. What are apple cores and all this decomposed garbage doing associated with something so precious? He says there must be something wrong with the man. Must be something wrong with the man. How do you keep the two things in one location? So the Chovot HaLevavos says, what is the heart? The heart is the emotion, is the feeling. We have feeling for HaKadosh Baruch Hu in the heart, but simultaneously we have all kinds of garbage there. We have nonsense. We have detestable, almost embarrassing types of feelings, together with feelings for Hashem. You should designate our hearts to be exclusively for your service, nothing else. To love and to revere your name. Nothing else should be in that heart. That's the tefillah. So this is the subtle polytheism. We have two things going on simultaneously. We love this and that, but simultaneously there are other things. We're worshiping ourselves. We do what we want to do. V'shema haksil hapes shikra sefer zeh, he says, the fool. And the pesi, he refers to ignorant. The pesi is usually a ksil, one is a hedonist. When we read this work, Yamar al-Masha Zechanu b'shara zeh, Yom b'liba ha'yolim inyan ha'yichud misha lomed daf echad min ha'torah. And what do we do? This extensive discussion of what Yichud Hashem is, the unity of God. Everybody knows what unity is. I believe in one God. Right? What do we have to discuss more than that? You know? I believe in one God. Achiyoro son ha'mechaber hazeh olav yoreinu also. You have to respond to the fool according to his folly. Lest to be wise in his own eyes. You know, you think you know it all. No, if you don't say it, you don't respond. He thinks he's right. What do we have to discuss it at such length? Because the person believes he understands what it is, but he doesn't understand what it is. Right? Most people don't understand what it is. Most people, things don't even enter their minds. I once said, I have this person, I meet him every once in a while whenever he has to speak at a family simcha, Sheva Brachas. So he asked me, he wants to discuss something to say over. Fine person, charitable, respected person, must be a man in his mid-50s, went to day school, maybe he went to yeshiva a little bit, and he believes he's a proper observant Jew. So when we start discussing, let's say Sefer Bereshis, he doesn't have the stories of Bereshis correct. Understand? Because when we start discussing it, I have to correct him. He doesn't have the facts right. So if you don't have the facts of stories right, you have Shabbos right. And you have many other things right. You know? So how accurate is your recollection of what's proper? It's what you believe. You know, that's the first thing that I realized. If you don't have stories which are, we're not talking about halacha, and because of that, the hashkaf is totally off. The whole perspective is not correct. So how well did you study initially to know your accuracy or your recall? And when was the last time you learned the halacha? Did you ever learn the halacha? Or was it all by, that's what they say, this is where we do it, and so on and so forth? So how could you be really, but you believe you're as good a Jew as anybody else? Because it's what you believed it is. So therefore, you have to, aneksil kivalto, you have to respond to the fool according to his folly, otherwise he's chochem einov. Because he believes what he does is correct and everything's right, but it's not right. I believe, you know, mikveh. Mikveh is a fundamental of family. It's family. Family purity. Now, if you take the number of people that belong to Orthodox shuls and the amount of mikvahs that exist, there's no way it serves the population. Impossible. Right? Do you think if the rabbis would speak about mikveh and the importance of mikveh, do you think they'd leave an Orthodox shul and go to conservative reform? I don't believe it. I don't believe it. Of course, you have to know how to say it and communicate it. the values and maybe set up programs. But who speaks about these things? People, but they feel they're okay. And people don't go to the mikveh. Maybe they'll go once in a while. Well, why? You know, this is fundamental. We're talking about kores, we're talking about the children. What do you think the kids look the way they look? The Gemara says that the child is conceived in a state of impurity. He has certain corrupted attributes. His midos are improper. There's arrogance, many things that go along with that. So I'm not even talking about the transgressions and the continuous serious infractions that go on over here. Well, let's not even speak about it. Nobody's jumping ship. Nobody will jump ship. They think they're okay. You know, I give my this, I do this, I'm a chan. They're all nice people, but it's ignorant. And you have to respond to people. So who's culpable? The people are culpable, but who's really culpable? The leaders. It's problems with the leadership and the teachers. They're not communicating what they actually communicate. Is it more important to talk about what's going on in current events? You know, the APAC and the DPAC and the ZPAC? What's important? I understand. To be continued.